Council.
You're listening to KLAV.
That's one of my favorite activities, you know.
KLAV Las Vegas.
Turn up the volume on your receiver as high as it can go.
The talk of Las Vegas.
Make the sound we broadcast as loud as possible.
12:30 a.m.
RPX Sports. My name is Rich Perez.
I'm Ricky Cash. And I'm Aaron Phillips.
Hey, guys, you excited about this show coming up?
It's amazing. I can't wait for Tuesday night at 6 p.m. Love it, love it, love it.
Hey, we're going to cover NCAA, NFL, and all the great things about sports and entertainment. Tune in.
Does that include pro wrestling?
Could be.
Oh, my goodness. What have I got myself into?
Raw Power Sports and Entertainment. Tuesday night at 6.
Views and opinions expressed in the following program are those of the host and guests and not necessarily those of the staff or management of KLAV.
Listen up, listen up, listen up. Live from Las Vegas, entertainment capital of the world. RPX.
This is Raw Power Sports and Entertainment with your hosts, Rich Perez, Aaron Phillips, and Ricky Cash.
September 30th, 2014, a great Tuesday night here in Las Vegas. My name is Rich Perez. I want to welcome everybody to the show. To my left, Mr. Aaron Phillips. How are you, sir?
Howdy do, doing well.
Mr. Ricky Cash, welcome back.
Good to be back.
All right. Hey, we got a great show in store for you. We're going to go over some of the headlines from this week in the NFL. We're also going to go over college football. We've got Major League Baseball. We've got the playoffs starting today. A lot of great sports and a lot of interesting stories out there. Let's start right off the bat with Tom Brady, Bill Belichick. Is it over, Mr. Cash?
I don't know if the relationship is over, but I think their season may be already in jeopardy. Okay, I mean, let's take a look real quick. First game out of the box, they were absolutely terrible, right? Against Miami. Then they come back and they play Minnesota, who was struggling with the Peterson thing. They beat Oakland by 7 at home. Last night, if you were a betting man, you should have known that they were due for getting clobbered, and they were.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And, what are your thoughts here? Because I think that, look, it may be time for changing of the guard over there.
Well, listen, every good run comes to an end, but let's face it, Tom Brady doesn't exactly have the offensive weapons to throw the ball to like he's had in the past, and that's hurt the passing game and will certainly add to its inconsistency. I think they'll straighten themselves out a little bit. I don't think they're going to go deep in the playoffs this year. There's just way too many good AFC teams out there this year. I look at what Miami's doing. I mean, they're 3-1. They're playing great. There's a lot of great teams out there. So
it's a weak division.
Well, it's a weak division, but not the conference.
Division. No, the conference is
and that's
good.
why even if the Patriots get in, I don't think they're going to go deep.
I think if they get in, after 4 weeks, it's easy to predict, right?
Mm-hmm.
9-7 could win the East. I mean, when you think about it, maybe even 8-8.
Yeah,
these guys are going to beat each other up. Even the Jets at 1-3 are only one game behind. The other guys, they're all 2-2. There's no 3-1 team out there in the
Buffalo's
East.
2-2.
Yeah, so is Miami.
Yeah, right.
And so is New England.
Right.
Well, definitely a lot to be in store for these New England Patriots. I think the whole country relishes that they fall apart. I really do.
They do. It's incredible. It's like the Yankees.
I was just going to say that.
Just like the Yankees. And in the old days when I was growing up, it was just like the Montreal Canadiens. People rooted against them because they were so damn good.
Right. Well, on that note, let's go to the Dallas Cowboys because they are looking fantastic suddenly. What is going on there?
How about them Cowboys?
How about them Cowboys?
We got a job to do, and we're going to do it, baby!
I think Denver showed up in Cowboy uniforms the other night. I think that's what happened.
Well, that line is beefed up, and DeMarco Murray's able to run the ball.
Yeah, offensively they're playing well.
Right, I agree with Aaron. There's nothing wrong with their offense. I just didn't think Tony Romo was going to show up this year, and he looked as sharp as he has in his whole career.
Right.
All right. The defense, still a little questionable.
Although shutting down, the Saints to only 17 points is no small task. So you got to give the Cowboys defense some credit there.
Yeah, well, they played well.
Right.
But then again, you know what happens to New Orleans once they get out of the Superdome.
That's right. They play like the Jacksonville Jaguars.
They implode.
It's very interesting to see how that division ends up. But the Cowboys looking very strong right now. It's going from the weakest team looking opening day to one of the stronger teams. Here we are in week 4.
I'm embarrassed to say I think I picked them 3-13, and guess what? They'd have to lose out for that prediction to come in.
Yeah, that's crazy. All right, let's jump to Oakland, my favorite. Right?
Are they still in the league?
They are. They fired Dennis Allen today.
Yep.
And you know what's so exciting?
Yes.
You know who they hired? They hired Tony Soprano.
Not Tony Soprano. Listen, Cash Sperano.
No, that's Tony Soprano from North Jersey.
No. Listen, we call that a cashism where his brain's not functioning with his mouth.
You mean it was the other guy?
It was the other guy, exactly. Soprano.
I know.
From Miami.
I know.
Former Miami.
What are your thoughts on that? Do you guys like that pick? Do you like him? He's an interim. They're saying interim, but
the Raiders have a lot more problems than just the head coach.
It's not coming from the coaching.
This is just putting a finger in the dam until the end of the season.
You want to talk about a complete overhaul? It's almost like they have to decimate the entire roster and start again. Yeah. Right now, Texas A&M would run all over them.
Right. No, absolutely.
And they're not the best team in college football either.
I was kind of wondering what your thoughts were because they took Carr out and put McGloin in. Where was Schaub in all this?
Yeah, I was wondering that myself.
Yeah. Obviously, they've totally lost faith in Schaub. Totally.
Either that or his inner ear hasn't cleared up yet. Yeah, I mean, come on, that's a bad thing. When you don't have equilibrium, when the 280-pound linebacker is coming at you, he looks like 4 people.
Well, if they haven't gotten that figured out by now, there's other problems there. But
like I said, decimate the entire
But as a Penn State alumni, it does my heart good to see Matt McGloin in there, quarterback, and at least filling in, if nothing else.
And he looked good.
He looked good.
He looked good. I think he's more experienced than Carr.
Sure.
McGloin, I think he's a little more accurate, too.
It's funny. We have these quarterback discussions ad nauseum, right? Because that's the sexy player in the NFL. Mm-hmm. The fact of the matter is, you give any quarterback at that level of play 5 seconds or more, and they'll tear up every defense put out on the field. So it's really all about the front line. That's why Brady's having problems. Mm-hmm. That's why some of these other guys are having problems. But the fact of the matter is, look at Rivers, Phillip Rivers. I mean, goodness gracious! For the last year and a half, he looks like Bart Starr.
Right.
Why? Because his front line is giving him almost 6 seconds.
Well,
crazy stuff.
Was Logan Mankins that important to the Patriots' offensive line when they traded him, that now the offensive line in New England is just garbage?
Well, you know what happens? You get a group of guys that play together for 4 years or 5 years. Mm-hmm. They get, even if they were somewhat not as good at the beginning, 5 years playing under the same, then they're exclusive.
Right.
It's a lot like this. Us doing the radio show. We've been doing it a long time. Mm-hmm. We know what to do. I know when you're going. I know when you're going. Mm-hmm. Same thing with a guy on the line. So I agree. Look, it's changed a lot of teams when you start getting rid of people, and happened when Larry Allen left the Cowboys.
Right,
fell apart. So here we are seeing it again. But we've got other stories as well. I wanted to comment on this because I know this affects you. The New York Giants annihilated the Redskins.
Yes,
what were your thoughts on that game? I thought Eli Manning and gang looked phenomenal, and are they back?
Well, their last 2 games, obviously, they've looked a lot more comfortable in their offensive scheme, but I had mixed emotions in that game. I really wanted the game to be like 38-35 because in my fantasy league, I had Alfred Morris and I had Rashad Jennings, so they were kind of going at each other. But there's no question they look better. The running game is a lot more comfortable. I'm looking for they're going up against, I believe, Houston this week, if I'm not mistaken. Listen, as a closet Giants, well, not really a closet Giants fan, I am a Giants fan. I look for them to ride it out. Will they go deep in the playoffs? Doubtful. Will they potentially contend for the division if they keep going the way they are? Sure. I mean, that division, talked about the AFC East being a weak division.
They're
so
playing the Falcons.
Oh, they're playing Atlanta. That's right. Matt Ryan is quarterbacking. So they're playing in a weak division as well in the NFC East. But I think it's up for grabs. Philadelphia coming back to the pack after what happened to them this past weekend in San Francisco after losing a tough game. Washington can't right itself. Kirk Cousins looks normal. And then some, Dallas, although look good, Dallas may be the surprise. It could be Dallas and Giants for all we know. So yes, I'm feeling optimistic about the Giants after what I've seen the last 2 weeks. And Eli's kept his interceptions down.
With a quarter of the season over, and some teams are doing better than expected, and some teams aren't. It's hard to really make any bold predictions. Let's wait until it's 8 games in. And then we'll have a good idea who's going to be fighting for playoffs. November is where the NFL teams make the playoffs. You know that. November. So we'll see what happens.
All right, so let's go to Philadelphia because they've played the 49ers. 49ers won the game. By every right, every time these two would play, I would take the 49ers. I don't care where they're playing. 49ers are also struggling, but Eagles can't run the ball. What happened here?
First of all, it makes no sense. I mean, we saw now that Nick Foles is human, okay, and that under pressure has a great deal of problems. But here's my dilemma: they're playing a terrible game. All of a sudden, in the fourth quarter, they're driving. They get the ball to the 3-yard line with 3 minutes to go, and they don't give it to McCoy once. They make 2 errant passes.
Terrible.
I could have made a better play call than that.
Right.
And I was saying it before they went to 3rd and 5 or whatever, 3rd and 2.
And that game cost me my tie this week because Philly was getting 5 and it was 26-21. Wow. It cost me my tie this week.
The Eagles, I'll tell you what, if the Eagles would have won that game, then everybody would be talking about how they're going to be dominant because they win when they play a poor game.
Right.
Crazy stuff.
Now, on the other side of the ball are the 49ers. I'm starting to see some things starting to click. Kaepernick seems to be putting it together little by little. I think there's something going on in that clubhouse. Somebody's not getting along with somebody. I don't know what the deal is because they went from really the most dominant team the last couple of years to a team that really is struggling in the first half.
Yeah, I agree. Colin Kaepernick, that throw that he did opposite field to Gore, I think, where he was running to the left, throws all the way back across the field, and Gore was wide open. I mean, as wide as you can get on a cross-field pass. Was just a sick play.
I know I have Frank Gore in my fantasy team.
So to have that happen, but I agree that I think the locker room is in disarray. If Harbaugh is the head coach of the Niners next year, I'll be surprised.
Me too.
I think this year is it for him. There's a lot of issues between him and the GM from what you're reading. I think his tough disciplinarian style is wearing thin on many of these players, which is not uncommon when you have a disciplinarian. Look what happened to Tom Coughlin his first couple of years. Everybody was ready to jump ship.
Including you.
Including me. I'll tell you, Bill Cowher, the year that they won the first Super Bowl, I was waiting for Cowher to come in.
But here's the counterpoint on that, okay? As we look back at the 49ers before Harbaugh, they were nothing. Okay, they weren't contending.
Oh, he's
really turned it around.
Sure, he's definitely a guy that can build a team and take them right up to the Super Bowl. He got them into the Super Bowl. They lost a game where if it had another 15 yards. They make that play in the end zone and they win. It's a hard team to play with. But you're right. I blame the locker room. There is something going on there, and it's something probably within the, offense and defense.
Yeah, it reminds me of the 85 Bears. You remember when Ditka had his and Ryan had his?
Yeah, it's almost like two separate teams.
Right, and then even at the end of the Super Bowl, they picked up both coaches, and you're like, whoa, wait a minute.
Very good point.
I would not be surprised to see Harbaugh in Michigan next year.
Yeah, that's well, you know that he's on his way out. Hoke.
Bobby Hawk, yeah.
Yeah,
Hoke.
Hoke. No, Hoke.
No, I know.
Both those guys are going.
Hoke. Right. Spelled like Hoke. Exactly. Must be Hoke.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what.
Well, he took a lot of heat for the quarterback this weekend. The quarterback got concussed on a huge hit under the chin. You could see he was wobbly, and they left him in.
Oh, yeah.
Well, Yeah, that's a whole nother story. I'm not sold on San Francisco, guys. I still think at the end of the season they'll be looking up at both Arizona and Seattle.
Yeah.
Just a thought.
It's all right.
Now, this past
I'm
weekend,
gonna document that.
I know we're running short on time in the segment, and I'd be remiss not mentioning big event this past weekend.
Okay.
Derek Jeter, man, finishing up in
Absolutely.
Boston. To switch gears. I mean, I don't know if you guys saw any of that or watched the ball game.
Unbelievable.
Did you see the recording of any of the pregame ceremony in Boston?
Yeah.
Because I was watching it live streaming.
Sure.
And what a class act
See
Boston
the
was.
scoreboard?
The scoreboard. They
whole
did all
thing.
of that. They had the remaining living captains of the Red Sox came out on the field. They had Bobby Orr come out. They had Paul Pierce come out, and I forgot who the third guy was. But what a class presentation. And of course, his last two hits were high choppers, were Baltimore chops, ironically. Getting an RBI. His last RBI was Ichiro Suzuki coming in from third. And it's now the Yankees really are looking at something new for themselves moving forward.
I was thinking about Jeter, and I've watched baseball since 1970 on up here, and I know some of you have seen before that, but
Cash invented it.
I don't know that I've ever seen anything like this year when a guy retired. I've seen all the ceremonies and pomp and circumstance.
Well, Rivera last year.
But no, not ending the way it did, because
Right.
it affected the whole country, where everybody was like, hey, you know what? This guy's great. Let's give him an ovation. Everybody's standing ovation for this guy.
Right. Everybody's
happy for that. Forget he was a Yankee. If you didn't like the Yankees, you loved Derek Jeter this week and last week. And this is something I have not seen.
Yes, you have.
Where else have I seen
Cal
this?
Ripken. His last year was almost a duplicate.
That's
of
true.
what we
In a
saw
great All-Star game and everything.
The All-Star. Are you kidding? The home run in his first at bat. Ripken's departure was the same on a national level as Jeter's.
I agree.
And it's interesting because both of them are obviously Hall of Fame and all that stuff, but not the classic superstar. The five-tool player did everything well, but nothing spectacular. He wasn't a Mickey Mantle home run hitter, or he wasn't a Maury Wills base stealer, but he just did everything way above average, but not at the superstar level. That's what makes Jeter and Ripken, to me, two of the greatest players to ever play the game.
Well, what I was getting to is that I didn't feel the most loved and the most hated team in baseball, correct?
Without question.
Okay, but
I know every day I love him and hate him.
I've been part of their organization, and I loved it that 1 year I was there. And this organization is just, I just never felt like was respected by everybody. But this weekend, I felt like it was respected by everybody.
I don't know if it was the organization or it was the man.
Well, that's just it.
I think it was the man.
Because there's still a lot of detractors out there for Jeter.
I don't see that.
I'll give you one right off the bat. Keith Olbermann was an idiot with what he said about Derek Jeter.
Wow.
I mean, as an example.
Keith Olbermann's been an idiot for all his career.
There's still going to be the detractors, but you're right. Overall, you look at the Gatorade commercials that went out there, the Nike commercials, the tributes. I mean, from all walks of entertainment and life. Listen, it truly is. I remember somebody saying, and I know we got to go to break, there was a story that I heard, and I'm going to paraphrase the end of it, where this guy heard stories from his grandfather about Babe Ruth. He now will be able to share stories with his grandchildren about Derek Jeter, because there will never be another ball player, at least in my lifetime, that will spend 20 years with the same team to the level and class of individual that Jeter is. I don't think we'll ever see it on any level of sports.
Yeah, I wrote in my Sunday Night Live blog almost exactly those words, that in my lifetime, I probably won't either see another player of his caliber play for one team for 20 years. It's not the nature of the game anymore.
And for a moment there, I remembered not only Jeter, but Lou Gehrig, Babe Ruth. I mean, it brought all those things up, where we see the old films and this, that, and the other. But wow, I mean, it really struck me as a baseball person and a baseball moment that I'll never forget. So, on that note, let's take a quick time out. Ricky Cash, Aaron Phillips, my name is Rich Perez. We'll be right back. RPX Sports, Raw Power Sports, rpxsports.com on the internet. We'll be right back. Gotta love the Irish. You gotta love the Irish.
I ain't got to do nothing.
I'll tell you what, I've been to many schools and across the land. And, of course, I was fortunate to take some classes at Notre Dame on their extension program. But this place, wow. Talk about the grotto. Talk about the stadium. Touchdown, Jesus. Come on. You got to love the Irish. You got to love the Irish.
Is there a Motown Moses?
I don't know about that.
Let's move away from there and tell you that Notre Dame is number 9 this week in the country, and they're playing Stanford.
Everett Golston, who I warned everybody, I told everybody, did I not? Notre Dame was going to be there.
Yeah, yes, you did. And I told you that once they hit the hard part of their schedule, they were going to collapse. So
that's where you're beginning to think today is the hard part of the schedule.
Yes, of course. Stanford has, in their 3-1 season, has given up a total of 26 points in 4 games. Now, with that said, you do the math.
I will say this. If SC beats Stanford, Notre Dame will annihilate Stanford.
SC was lucky to get out of there with their uniforms on.
So I'm not buying. Look, Stanford struggled also against Washington, another team that really they should have annihilated. I don't think they go into South Bend and win this game. And it's not just because I love Notre Dame. It's because I don't see it. I just don't see it. A year ago, Stanford, yes. This year, I'm not seeing it yet.
Well, we'll see.
We'll see. So
I'll tell you what, though. Take the under, because it's going to be a defensive game. It really will.
Like a defensive battle?
Just like the SC game. No question.
A little bit of rain and mud involved?
Well, it could even snow there. It's Indiana,
All right.
All right, how about this past weekend? There were a lot of games that really were kind of really surprising. And
go ahead, say it. Go ahead, say it. Come on.
Missouri beating South Carolina.
And who called it?
Well,
You did.
Come on. Thank you very much.
All right, not too shabby. I didn't realize that Missouri was in the east of the Southeast, conference. Mm-hmm. So they're number 1 right now, which is very, very interesting because at the beginning of the season, everybody picked Georgia and South Carolina to fight it out. Georgia had their hands full with Tennessee, lucky to get out of there with a 3-point win. After that, it was a very, very interesting weekend. Michigan State was 31-point favorites, and they were 31-7 at the half. They won by 45.
Tore it up. UCLA goes into Arizona State, destroys the Sun Devils.
Annihilates them. Yeah, that was pretty interesting, too.
You talked about Notre Dame. I had to watch the Notre Dame-Syracuse game.
Was that a game? Or was that an annihilation?
Well, you know what? Early on, they were going back and forth, but Notre Dame just looked sick against Syracuse. I mean, the players were seemed like twice as big
size
as the Syracuse guys. I mean, it was just a
men with boys.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, they just corralled the Syracuse quarterback Hunt, and it was interesting to watch that game. It's just like the NFL now. This part of the college season, conference play starting. Penn State laid an egg against Northwestern this week. Which was 29-6, which was terrible. Or as Charles Barkley would say, that's terrible, man. That's terrible.
That wasn't bad.
That was not bad,
Not
huh?
terrible.
Playoffs! But now we're getting conference play. And this is where the rest of the season is really going to kick off for college with all the conference games now. So,
well, hey, it's a bang-up season so far, and I don't know if there is anybody surprising you?
No. I think everybody's kind of where they were expected to be.
If you look at the top 5, Florida State, Oregon, Alabama, Oklahoma, that's exactly where they're supposed to be.
Right.
Auburn, Texas A&M, a little bit of a surprise. Nobody expected them up there. Baylor, that's also, we'll see what happens when they have to play the meat of their schedule. They started like this a year ago and 2 years ago, and then 3 years ago was RG3 there. So, they have a great team. Notre Dame, UCLA, Michigan State. Michigan State now looks like world beaters,
right.
But they went into Oregon and got
crushed.
Well, I was going to use another word, but I'm not allowed to say it.
But that game was really close till the end.
Well, that's
really
when it
was.
counts.
Right.
Yeah, at the end, they ran away with it.
I don't think there's any surprises in that ranking right now.
Not really.
I think everybody's where they were expected to be.
Yeah, Mississippi and Mississippi State, both 4-0, right outside the top 10. Mm-hmm. So that should be interesting as well. There's a lot of good games coming up this weekend. You want to go to break and then do the picks?
Absolutely. I'm ready to give these picks.
Any other comments from last weekend's? Any surprises out there other than, some of the things that we just talked about?
Other than buying you guys leprechaun suits for this weekend, no surprises.
Oh, my God.
They don't make them in my size.
All right, on that note, let's take a quick timeout. Ricky Cash, Aaron Phillips, Rich Perez. Oh, my gosh, we got Weekend at Bernie's in the house.
Live.
Mike Snyder's here. Mr.
Fantasy
Lawrence
himself
on the board, and our videotaping going on here. Can you introduce your friend to everybody?
Yeah, that's John JPEG Styles, who works with Aaron and I over on Vegas Unwrapped.
We'll have this video up soon, right?
Yeah, should have it up sometime tomorrow.
Wow, beautiful.
And so check out what's our YouTube channel?
YouTube.com/unwrap2010.
Yeah, we'll be on that. Want to see what kind of response we get.
Yeah. There you go. All right, let's take a quick timeout. RPX Sports, Raw Power Sports, brought to you by AEBworldwide.com. We'll be right back. How do you not like this fight song? This is like one of the top three easily.
I don't know. Ask their quarterback while he has a concussion if he likes the song.
Michigan.
Instead of maize and blue, it should be black and blue.
Unbelievable. I am an equal college band opportunist.
Good job.
I don't know what listener.
The reason why we opened with the Michigan song is because that program. You want to talk about programs in disarray?
Yeah.
That is amazing. I mean, they're underdogs to Rutgers, guys. Rutgers
Can
University.
we change his last name from Hoke to Joke?
Oh, he's gone.
Right.
By the way, I don't think he's going to. I'll tell you what. If Rutgers wins this weekend, he's gone. He won't make the end of the season. He's seen his last Ohio State battle.
Yeah, look, you can't do that in Michigan, and it's not going to happen.
No.
I agree.
Bo
Schembechler.
He's turning over in his grave.
Oh, man.
He really is. I mean, this is just a disaster. I mean, if they played Ohio State this weekend, they'd lose 70-0. They would. It's terrible. That really got him upset, didn't it?
No.
Hey, by the way, if anybody cares, Kansas City's up 3-2 over Oakland and 4 in the American League.
Well, we care.
We all care.
I know. I'm just saying.
Well,
as we're in the middle of doing college, I figured I'd throw a baseball score out.
Well, hold on, because in sometime in the next hour, we're really gonna delve into these baseball playoffs.
I know, but it's
and we even
update.
have a special guest calling in.
It's an update. I like giving updates.
I know you do.
I got a whole plethora of NHL preseason scores here too.
Shouldn't the regular season start this coming week? I believe.
I think so.
Yeah,
it's too long.
October.
Well, I think we're ready for college picks.
Absolutely, Aaron Phillips, you are first up. You are at the plate.
How about our standings?
Yeah, you want to give standings before we give the picks?
Standings. I will be glad to give you standings.
How about a little music?
College football standings. Ready? Lawrence, cue it up, my friend. Here we go. Anything.
Yeah, right.
We'll take anything.
Except
anything for you by Gloria Estefan. All right? Here we go. Let's go. All right. Here we go. The standings.
The standings.
The standings are... Okay, I'm just going to say it. All right, here we go. The standings are, with a 13-10 record in third place, Mr. Aaron Phillips.
He's
13-10.
though.
He's coming back.
Told you I'm coming back.
This is after, 4 weeks of football.
Right.
Mr. Cash in second place, 16-7, a phenomenal record.
Whoa.
Better than anybody in town.
Wow.
Very good.
And that was with a not-so-good weekend.
Absolutely. We did not charge him for Penn State last week.
Of course not.
And now, in first place, is a guy named Rich Perez from beautiful Highland Park, California. Franklin High School at 21-4. Just a guy from Franklin High School.
I think he's rigging
You
it.
got your only four losses this past week? This past week?
No, I had 2, and I only had 2 prior to that.
I thought you said you went 4-4 this weekend.
Overall.
No, he's talking college now.
We're doing college.
Oh,
right
just
now.
college.
Yeah.
Oh, come on, bring it.
All right, so here we go. Let's do our
considering
picks.
I started out 1-4 the first week, I think I'm doing pretty good coming back.
You are?
I'll catch you guys. I'm not buying you guys dinner.
All right, the first pick, Mr. Aaron Phillips. You are first this week.
I'm first?
You are first on
last?
the list. You are number one in the program. You can't tell one player from another without a program.
There you
are
go.
first.
All right, I am going to go to California, Utah, and UCLA. UCLA off that big win this weekend. I like them to continue. Giving up 13 to Utah. Psh, dropping the bucket. Give me UCLA. Giving up 13 against Utah. Number 388 if you're keeping score on your sheet.
AP, you got it.
I'm going to warn you about those double-digit favorites.
I know, but I felt compelled.
Ricky Cash, let's hear your college football.
Well, one of my losses. One of my losses was Cincinnati against Ohio State last week because I thought Cincinnati would keep it close, and they did for about a half. But I think this week they come home, they play a weaker Memphis team, and I like Cincinnati -5 at home. My best bet of the week.
Wow, beautiful, beautiful. Cincinnati. What number game is that, sir?
3:30.
3:30 on the board here in Vegas. 3:30 for Mr. Cash. Okay. And now you're all looking to me to give you a pick. All right. I am going to beautiful Texas for my pick.
21-5.
I'm going to 362 Rice. 362 Rice -7 over my beloved Hawaii Warrior team. Rice.
Okay.
I'm taking Rice.
Pretty solid.
You like it, huh? All right.
It's okay. I mean, good pick. Good as any.
Mr. Phillips.
I, too, will be in Texas because they do it big in Texas, and I like big. I like Baylor going into Texas, not because I'm taking Baylor, but because I'm taking Texas, who's getting 16 points at home. Ooh. I'm going to take a ride on the Longhorns on this one. I'm going to take Texas.
You and Bevo.
I'm going to take Texas getting 16 against Baylor.
Speaking of Texas, what do you guys think of the coach there, Coach Strong, who has suspended and kicked off the team 9 players for inappropriate behaviors like bullying and all of that racial stuff? What do you think of that?
I think it's good.
Yeah, it is amazing, isn't it?
Yeah,
I love it too.
I'm still taking
in
Texas.
Class and acting up.
They're going to need a lot of help.
I'm still taking Texas. 16 points, baby, is all mine.
All right,
Can't have
your
it.
second pick, Mr.
My second
Cash.
pick is a little north of Texas, but not that much north.
Michigan?
No way. All right.
Oklahoma?
Absolutely. I love Oklahoma. They're on the road. They're giving 5 to TCU. Be careful, folks. TCU made it into the top 25 this week. They also are 3-0. However,
good team.
However, the juggernaut in Oklahoma moves ahead.
Wow. Beautiful. You brought a tear to my eye.
I bet.
All right, let's go to my next pick. Oh, my gosh. I would take whoever's playing UNLV, but I don't even know. Do you know a point spread on the game?
It's 7.
Come on.
In the RJ, it's 7.
No, it is not.
It is.
It couldn't be.
It is in the RJ.
That's my second pick. San Jose -7. Take it. Mortgage your house. Buy a new dog. Go out and go fishing. It's going to happen.
Whatever you do.
Relax. I'm sorry. UNLV again. I don't want to be the guy that's picking on them, but look.
But you are.
I am. This team is terrible. And it's not the players. They're good players.
San Jose State,
just not winning.
1-3 overall, have only scored 72 points and have given up 114. Whereas UNLV, 1-4 overall, has scored more points. Well, that's because they played one more game. Anyway, it's a good pick.
Thank you, sir.
UNLV just can't play defense.
Let's go to the third pick because you, Mr. Phillips, you get the sexy third pick.
All right. I'm going on a Friday night, which happens to be the start of the Jewish holiday of Yom Kippur.
Are you allowed to bet on Yom Kippur?
That's why I'm betting today.
Good job. Good job.
I don't know why I'm doing this.
I know why.
I don't know why I'm doing this stupidity. Syracuse has screwed me up 2 consecutive weeks.
Spanish guy here.
Make it a
2
third.
Jewish guys.
2 Jewish guys.
Yom Kippur.
Yom Kippur.
What does that mean?
Day of Atonement. This is the day. This is the holiday where we ask God one final time to forgive us for our sins and bad picks, and puts us into the book of life for the next year, that we live healthy and happy and make better picks.
All right, go Yom Kippur.
There you go. I am going to take the Cuse in the Dome, getting 3 at home against Louisville.
Oh, my goodness.
3-10 on the card this week.
I was so tempted to use that as
going
my pick.
again on Syracuse?
I am. I'm riding them. For it's 3. Third time's going to be the charm for the Orange Men. Otherwise, my wife has to pay me back my money.
All right, Mr.
Lawrence, could I get some military something going on here? You know, like Anchors Away.
It took him 15 minutes to find this music.
Look, I got Jeremy Ortiz listening tonight, and he's a very important person.
I am going for one of the games in the Commanders Cup.
Uh-oh.
I like Navy on the road in the Air Force at Colorado Springs, 4.5 points over the Air Force Academy. Give me the Naval Midshipmen.
Navy. You like the Navy, Cat.
373.
All right.
Hope they don't sink for you. It's a washed-up pick. Come on.
My third pick. My son was a Marine, so I can appreciate that. There you go.
Semper
All right. Semper Fi, Marine. All right. I can hear Rich telling me that now. All right. Here we go.
He better not be helping you with your picks.
Here we go. Here we go.
That's not fair.
That's right. I get the spiritual side with me here.
There you go.
All right, Rich Perez Jr., here we go. USC at home annihilates Arizona State. They've got a second-string quarterback who gives it his best, but it's just not good enough. SC wins that game handily.
That's a very good pick, I must admit. 11.5 really doesn't seem like quite a lot of points to give.
How about our bonus? It's a little bit time for a bonus.
Bonus.
You know, this is like going to the pen to feed the pigs, and they deliver hot dogs. Let's go.
There you go. Where the hell did that come from?
I don't know, but
that's tremendous.
If he's talking pigs, they're obviously not kosher hot dogs.
Especially this week.
No.
Hey, have you atoned this week? You had 10 days to atone for.
Oh, I've atoned.
I was in the sun. I toned.
Let's
go.
I'm going up to Reno, Nevada.
Reno.
Going to Reno.
All right. I'm going this week to Reno, but go ahead.
Boise State invades Reno.
Okay.
Against UNR, giving up only 2.5.
You got it.
I got to take Boise State. Giving up the 2.5.
You and Adrian Peterson, AP.
That's it. Only I'm in not as much trouble as he is.
That's true.
Thank God.
Mr. Cash.
Boise State. I'm looking at that one, guys. Boise
Don't
State.
touch it. I took it.
No. Boise State, though.
Mr. Cash.
All right.
Bring me a drink.
They're going against the top team in the Mountain West right now, which is UNR. I'll tell you what. Boy, would I love to go the other way just to give them a hard time, but I won't, because I'm going to see this week. I'm going to see the demise of one of the great college powers, which we discussed earlier. For my bonus pick, I'm picking Rutgers, my New Jersey hometown, Northern Jersey, Piscataway.
New Brunswick.
3.5 points over Michigan. I'm telling you, they may beat them by 2 touchdowns.
Scarlet Red against the Mason.
I always thought that Piscataway was Piscataway was somebody telling somebody where the city of Pisk is. Piscat that away. No? All right.
That's
turn his mic off.
All right.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. My bonus pick is sponsored by Tim Aberley, who's listening today. Another one of my mentors in life. All right, here we go. All right, Tim, we're going to come out with a winner here for you. All right, we have got, I'm going down this list and looking at it twice. I'm going to see which game is going to be naughty or nice. All right, here we go. I am going to beautiful Northwestern because they are not going to beat Wisconsin. I love the way Wisconsin runs the ball. I am all over those Badgers. Bring the Badger on. Put that red sweater on. And look like the weirdest mascot in the world, but very effective. We're going to take Wisconsin.
I'm going to make a bold prediction. Rich Perez is going to go 1-3 this weekend.
All right. I hear you.
All right, I called him out, folks.
I hear you.
1-3.
It's on now.
I think his USC pick was the best one.
All right. It's on like Donkey Kong.
There you go.
I don't know if anybody plays that anymore, but all right.
Donkey.
We're going to go to break.
We got to take a timeout.
And then could we get perhaps even just quickly, can we get a fantasy update? Find out where our teams are?
That sounds a little personal, sir.
Because you
Let's take a quick
because you had a good week.
We're going to talk about that when we get back. Ricky Cash and his fantasy. Aaron Phillips.
I don't want to know his fantasy.
Rich Perez. We should call this two Jewish guys and a Spaniard. We'll be right back. Hey, do we have some beautiful weather today or what?
I love it. October's my favorite month.
Hey, I want to plug a little something here. VegasWatchProductions.com. VegasWatchProductions.com is one of the AEB worldwide sites, part of the RPX Sports conglomerate, and they are having open auditions for actors and actresses. If you want to be in a reality show, this is where you got to go. VegasWatchProductions.com. VegasWatchProductions.com. Who knows? They may even be in studio with us here. We may be somewhere with them. I don't know. You guys look like reality stars, and I can see you're excited about that.
We're happy that we have the face for radio.
There you go.
And that's about it.
I'm in. Hey, you put me in that reality show. I am in.
I'm there.
I am all about reality.
I'm there.
I'm very 2014, even though I'm 82, right? Okay.
As I tell everybody,
Yes.
I may be old, but I'm not dead.
There you go.
There you go. So I'm there.
You are there.
I'm in.
Ricky Cash, King of the Hill.
We won't even talk about that.
All right.
So what do we got?
VegasWatchProductions.com. Check it out. All right. I just blanked. I'm sorry.
Fantasy football.
Fantasy.
RPX
There we go.
Fantasy
I'm sorry.
Football League.
I'm sorry. I turned 50 and I forgot.
You have it pulled up there, Mr.
Of course
Phillips?
I do.
Tell us what's going on.
What is
All right.
happening?
2 teams tied for the top spot. Henderson Hedgehogs and Lobster Slappers are 3-1.
Wow.
There are 6 teams tied at 2-2 with yours truly, but I have the most amount of points in the league. I have over 400 points.
That will only help you
At
if
playoffs.
you finish
Can we
first.
just take a time out here? Do you remember the first 2 games? I was the laughing stock of the league. And I have come back stronger than ever. I made a few tweaks to my team, and suddenly I am at the top of the list.
Well, I'll tell you. This week, who is he playing, Mr. Phillips?
Just so happens that in week 5, the Henderson Hedgehogs is playing Phillips Follies this week.
Uh-oh.
So my question is, do I start Peyton Manning or Andrew Luck against Henderson Hedgehogs this week? I don't know. I got a tough
Who's
decision.
your third quarterback? Do you have a third?
No, I don't. I don't need a third quarterback. I got the 2 best in the league right there.
I think. Who is Manning playing against, sir?
Manning's playing Arizona.
Yeah.
Okay, and who is Luck playing against?
I will let you know in a second because we looked it up before and I forgot.
I got it right here in front of me.
Do you?
Andrew Luck is playing against.
Oh, Andrew Luck is playing against Baltimore.
That Baltimore. Ooh.
I think as a
You think I'm going to listen to your advice
guy,
this week?
a guy that you're playing against, I think you should start either one of those 2.
Yeah. It's a 50-50 chance.
Yeah,
That was wonderful.
I do think that.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, I have the Baltimore defense, so I'm hoping very much that we can shut down Mr. Luck and shut down Mr. Phillips and all these points he's gathering.
Hey, but it doesn't matter. I'm in 3rd place, so I mean.
And where is the commissioner?
The commissioner, Vegas Rich's team is 2-2, and he's 8th out of 10 teams.
I'm also tied for 3rd.
Well, that's true. You're a part of
Actually,
the 2-2
I'm tied for
pack.
2nd.
You're tied in the 2-2 pack with me. Team Victory, Peagles, Irish Rules, Jason's team, and then there's Harry's Heroes and Under the Radar pulling up the rear 1-3.
Whoa, that's my brother Harry's Heroes.
And my daughter Radar.
And I'm playing him this week.
And you're playing your brother this week.
Yes, I know.
Wow.
I can't wait.
Well, a lot of good fantasy out there, and I'm sure we will see the Henderson Hedgehogs do their thing.
There were some interesting things, just because I know we got to go to break in a minute
Yes.
or less. Guess who's still out there if you wanted him? Roethlisberger, Joe Flacco, and the Kansas City quarterback.
Alex Smith.
They're all still available.
I'm loaded, you know. It's hard to get into this
party. Who are your two quarterbacks?
It is hard to get in this party. Russell Wilson and Matthew Stafford.
I've got Russell Wilson.
I'm mixing my league.
You want him, you can have him.
I have Matthew Stafford and somebody else.
Yeah.
That doesn't matter right now. But, all right, here we go. We're going to take a quick timeout. Hour number 1 in the books. Hour number 2 is all about the NFL and baseball. If you want to get our NFL picks, stick around 6 minutes. We got a break here, and we're going to start all over for hour number 2. Listen in.
Give us a call at 702-731-1230.
Yeah. Get online. Get ready. We're going to be right back. Aaron Phillips, Ricky Cash, the RPX Sports team, the AEB Worldwide team. Everybody's here. Enjoy. We'll be right back.
Those of the host and guests, and not necessarily those of the staff or management of KLAV.
Listen up. Listen up. Listen up. From Las Vegas, entertainment capital of the world. RPX.
This is Raw Power Sports and Entertainment with your hosts, Rich Perez, Aaron Phillips, and Ricky Cash.
Hour number 2, hour number 1 in the books. Here on September 30th, 2014, in beautiful Las Vegas, Nevada, the entertainment capital of the world. RPX Sports, Raw Power Sports, brought to you by AEB Worldwide. Once again, I want everybody to know we're about to go into the NFL, but go to VegasWatchProductions.com, especially if you're an actor or an actress. VegasWatchProductions.com. We are casting for a reality show. What it's about, I can't tell. Who will be in it, I do not know. But that's what's going on. All right, here we go. NFL. All right. You guys are excited about this or what?
Absolutely. Always excited
Ricky
about the
Cash,
NFL.
Aaron Phillips, the pride of New York, both of you. Are you both from New York?
Nope.
Oh, whoa. Jersey?
Yep.
You're a Jersey boy.
I'm a Jersey boy.
Brooklyn.
Well,
that's New York.
Well, not if you come from Brooklyn, it isn't.
Wait a minute.
Was it from, it was Saskatchewan?
Brooklyn up until
its own state?
Up until 1898.
Oh,
was its own city.
18, but not when you were born. It was part of New York when you were born.
I think we're talking state here.
1811, that's right. His birthday.
Many years ago.
Okay, Brooklyn is no longer in New York, folks.
They've seceded.
They have left. But that's okay, Mr. Cash. I hear you. All right.
So we talked a little in the opening about how the NFL after 4 weeks should not necessarily be a barometer. Right?
Yes.
And I could agree with that more because so many things change. If we went back and looked at the standings last year at the end of 4 weeks, we would find teams that were doing very, very well. Like, I'll give you one. Arizona last year. I think they started the year 4-0. I think they ended 4-12. So
Kansas City was 9.
No, that was 2 years ago.
Kansas City went 9-0 last year.
2 years ago. Yeah. That's
and
right.
Tanked the rest of the year.
Right. So there's a lot to be said that this month it's kind of like I hate to say it's like NASCAR.
No.
Yeah, it is because they're jockeying for position, or it's like a horse race. They're jockeying for position. This is the back stretch, right? The third fork. Well, anyway,
I'm trying to get to the crux of this.
We'll get to the crux.
Don't bother.
All right. So the NFL. All right. We don't want to do our picks just yet, but let's go down the line here of some of these games that are going on.
Can I throw something out there about New England?
Throw it out there.
Did you hear today that unfortunately the Ebola virus was found in Dallas? Did you hear about that? Seriously?
No.
Yeah, there's a documented case now, the Ebola virus in Dallas. Well, somebody here on Facebook wrote, "Don't worry about the Ebola spreading in New England. The Patriots have shown us that nobody here can catch anything."
Whoa.
Thank you. All
right. Minnesota's at Green Bay Thursday night. Chicago's at Carolina.
It's on Facebook. It must
Cleveland
be true.
is at Tennessee. St. Louis is at Philadelphia. Atlanta's at New York. Tampa Bay's at New Orleans. Houston's at Dallas. Buffalo's at Detroit. Baltimore is at Indianapolis. Pittsburgh's at Jacksonville. Arizona's at Denver. Kansas City's at San Francisco. New York is at San Diego. Cincinnati's at New England at the night game Sunday and Monday night. Seattle is going to be in RFK area, Washington, D.C. All right. Guys, it looks like, and now, look, I wanted to break the story first, but I see it's already on the internet. But I also heard today from somebody that I know in the Oakland organization that John Gruden is the target. Now, I know a lot of you are saying, no way, ain't going to happen. He's in the booth. He's denied it. Look, when you're a coach or a player, I'm just giving you my perspective, you want to coach. You know, you don't want to be a broadcaster for the money. I think he wants to win another Super Bowl. I say he's going to do it, and I think they're going to give him the house to come back to Oakland.
Maybe 10, 20 years ago that might have been the case, but I don't think so, Rich. And the reason I don't think so is because the television broadcast booth, the ESPN, Fox, and all of them, CBS and NBC, they're all of them. They have made these jobs for these guys so attractive with so many benefits and so many time to spend with their families. They've already tasted that thing, and if they've won, like Cowher has won, like Gruden has won, there is no reason to come back. This isn't Bill Parcells. This isn't 1990 anymore. This is 2015. There is no possible way, in my humble opinion, that Gruden will ever step on a playing field again as a coach.
All right, mark that down.
What do you think?
I hear you, Jeremy.
I think if he's going to come back, it's not going to be in Oakland. I mean, there's nothing there to work with. You have no quarterback. There's a lot of question marks on both sides of the line. If he were to come back, why would you go back to Oakland? We talked about it earlier. It's a team that's imploding. The organization pretty much has to almost start from scratch to a certain extent. You have no quarterback. They leveraged the future a couple of years ago when they tried to get Carson Palmer to do something a couple of years. It's not a team that if I were John Gruden, for my stature, I would consider coming back to. I just don't see it either, but for a different reason than what Cash is talking about. But he has created this character on Monday Night Football, and he does a quarterback camp during off season and stuff. I think is pretty.
And he's a family man, guys.
Right.
You know, their wives don't want them to spend 16, 17 hours a day, in football. They got children, they've got grandchildren. Nah,
look at this quote.
It's not the same anymore.
Look at this quote I just got from John Gruden's wife. Please send him to Oakland. He's driving me nuts.
Good job, man.
Wow.
Good job.
I can't believe that.
That's not the only coaching position that's going to be available before too long in this league. And one of them is going to be in New York by the end of the year. And
Green and white, baby.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, green and white.
J-E-T.
Yeah, the Jets could be in deep trouble.
I think I just threw my back out.
And Andy and Rex Ryan. I'm thinking of his dad, of course, and that wasn't Andy anyway, so it doesn't.
That was Buddy.
We're losing our minds.
No, the point is that there will be other coaching positions,
absolutely,
open, which are far more attractive than the Oakland Raiders, right?
Oh, everybody loves Oakland. Come on,
which is
a beautiful city. Beautiful. You can go out of the stadium and hang out, get mugged a little bit. It's really safe. All right, so let's go. All right, I've totally lost my train of thought. All right, I would love to see it happen. Will it happen? It's a long shot. I agree. All right, but we'll see. All right,
let's do some picks.
All right, let's do some picks. But first,
I know.
Guess what, folks?
Yep.
Weekend at Bernie's is in the house. Bernie is here wearing his Cleveland Brown jersey. I can't believe it. Bernie, we have finally met you. You are no longer the voice.
How are you doing, gentlemen?
Welcome.
Who was number 31 in Cleveland?
Green, running back for the Cleveland Browns.
Amon Green?
No.
Trent Green? Oh, no, he was
Darryl Green?
I could use that because I had some strokes, so I can say I forgot them.
It's all good. It's a Cleveland Brown jersey. All right.
Well, I got to touch on a couple of things when you said about Gruden and Cowher, where it may be. I believe that neither one of them, and we might not be around to see them get into the Pro Football Hall of Fame, because even though they both won a Super Bowl, there's so many other big superstars coming out to play the game that they're going to keep falling down on the list before eventually they get nominated.
Who does Bernie sound like? Just like me, doesn't he? I say the same thing.
And if everybody was watching last night's game, I'm going to play a little bit of trivia. Something happened last night.
All right.
That has never happened in the NFL.
I heard it.
You're going to think about it and go from there.
I need a little something.
You need a little something.
Sure.
Okay. If you watch the game in the second half,
I didn't watch.
It is the first time 2 NFL teams have never taken a timeout during the half.
I was just going to say that.
That's amazing.
Really?
Wow.
I was going to say it was the first time in that stadium they played RESPECT.
Okay.
But, all right.
Yeah, so I would love to see if anybody can prove me wrong on that, but last I checked, I think it was 11,100,000 hits.
Wow.
And no one's found it yet.
Wow. All right.
Because you stop and think about it. So now we're going to do some picks here. And we all know it's a crazy week in football.
You're first.
And upsets. So
what's Bernie's record been there, Mr.
Bernie, you give him your record. I know you have it.
I went 2-2 last week, 3-1 the week before, fell down at 4-5, and then went 3-0. So I don't keep track of total numbers.
That's 12 wins in there. I lost track of the losses, but he's got 12 wins.
It's all good.
It's not bad,
Bernie,
no?
you are the voice of the fan.
Okay.
Talk to us. Who's your
all right,
pick?
Here we go. We got some upsets, but I have to dedicate one to a guy named Bernie that is back in Cleveland, Ohio.
All right, Bernie.
And
Bernie to Bernie.
He's talking about bubblegum shrimp, so I think he likes the New Orleans Saints this week.
Saints.
The Saints. And since we're going to have a lot of upsets, pay attention. We got the Bears.
Wait a minute. Wait, Bernie.
Okay.
I got to find the Saints.
What's the glasses? I can give you some glasses, Rich.
You know how it is. Come on. All right, Bernie, Big B. Okay,
all right, I'm
thanks.
sorry about the Cowboys, but we're going to go with Houston because this is a crazy week in football. And you got to tell me when the last time Tony Romo played 2 games in a row like that.
Oh my God,
that's a good point.
And then again, I got 2 gentlemen here from New York, but I got to go with Atlanta. I'm sorry, gentlemen, I can see Atlanta. Not going to die. And again, there will be no undefeated teams in the NFL this week because you can say what you want and think what you want about Tom Brady. But I think everybody was almost saying the same thing about Aaron Rodgers until he went and proved in Chicago that Aaron Rodgers is a quarterback. I'm not saying Brady is not throwing a shoe.
Well, Chicago, though, has a lot of problems in their defensive secondary. You and I could have thrown against Chicago.
I can agree, but we're not talking about that they're playing the best team in the world either with Carolina because
you are taking those clam chowder eating Patriots, aren't you?
Yes, without a doubt. And
there it is.
That's it.
Good job,
Bernie. Can't say no more than that.
Bernie, it has been an honor to have you in studio. We love your call every week.
My pleasure.
We look forward to all your Cleveland backing because you are Cleveland. I can see it.
I'm not the Terminal Tower.
You even have that tattoo on your arm that says Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. I love it.
I have the shirt out. No. But, I might come here another time and to wear a different uniform. You
Anytime.
Never know.
Bring the LeBron one. I want to see that on you. He's got the LeBron hat.
That's the new one.
There you go.
That's the new one.
Unreal.
Yep.
Unreal. They buried that guy and then they brought him back to life. Mm-hmm. Tremendous.
Thought the same thing, but then again, we all make mistakes, but he showed he's a true family man and cares about what's going on. And that's the key. So sometimes not winning is everything. You have to go home.
That is.
And
that's it, guys.
Better do good this year.
I'm going back that way.
Better
Goodbye.
do good this year.
All right.
Thank you,
job,
gentlemen.
Bernie.
You have a pleasant.
Bernie, thank you. All right. Okay. We're going to take a quick time out before we give our picks because we got to get in all the good words here. VegasWatchProductions.com, RPXSports.com, AEBWorldwide.com. Aaron Phillips to my left, Ricky Cash to my right. They also do a show called Vegas and Rap on one of these numerous stations around here, and they are phenomenal. And I'm lucky to be with them. My name is Rich Perez. We'll be right back. Oh, there's Tony Sperano's music. There it is.
I wonder how many people will really confuse that.
I don't know. Look, it is time for our greatest segment. It is called the NFL Picks segment.
We have standings on that too.
I knew you were going to ask me that. How did I know that?
Because we talked about it earlier.
Wow. Mr. Cash in first place. Second place, Mr. Perez. In third place, Mr. Phillips. I won't give numbers on that because I don't have them readily available. But I know you are in first place.
Okay.
All right. In the NFL, Mr.
Which
Cash.
makes no sense because I can't pick these things for trying.
All right. Hey,
I had a good week 2 weeks ago. Last week I was, caught a couple of lucky breaks.
If Dennis Rodman can go to North Korea, you can pick football games. All right.
All right. So you want me to start?
You are first, Mr. Cash. Your first NFL pick is
my first NFL pick. I'm going with my Eagles. I mean, they played terrible last week. They usually come back pretty good after a loss. The St. Louis Rams, another team, unfortunately, because of their quarterback problems, are in my favorite word in football, disarray. And I think the Eagles absolutely roll over the St. Louis Rams, -7 points. I think it's going to be a blowout.
There you go. Eagles. E-A-G-L-E-S. I like it.
Eagles fly.
Big game this week. LaShawn McCoy, 4 touchdowns.
They better use him. What is going on there?
Oh, yeah. No, I like it. Eagles, I love that game.
Okay.
Love it. I'm going to put a big heart on here. Love. It's love.
Mr. Phillips, what do you got for us?
I'm going to go head-to-head with Bernie.
Oh.
I'm going to go on the late Sunday game because our sheets got him as a pick'em.
Wait, here comes Bernie. Oh, stop it. Okay.
The Cincinnati Bengals going into New England Patriots. I'm going to take the Bengals to stay undefeated.
All right.
It's a pick'em straight up. But I'm going to take Cincy on the road. They had a week off. They could prepare for him. They could see what they have to do to stop Mr. Brady after what happened last night. I like Cincy in this spot.
Cincy.
And I screwed up Mr. Cash's pick.
Yes, he did.
All right. Being the bottom feeder in this pool here, I will take my pick to San Francisco. A good game. Kansas City going into San Francisco.
Got Alex Smith returning back to San Fran, man.
Absolutely, but I have a good friend up there named Mary, who I went to school with, and big 49er fan. I'm going with the Niners.
And she told you the 49ers would win, and that's the relevance.
That is the relevance, and that is Mary's pick, the 49ers. We are going 49ers. I'm with her on that one.
My second pick, I'm going with Bernie. I'm going to agree with Bernie because Phillips stole my Cincinnati Bengals. But I'll go with Bernie because I just can't believe New Orleans is this bad. And I think they will come back this week. Somebody is going to get a beating. And the Tampa Bay Buccaneers coming off their amazing win against the Steelers, I think they're not going to come in high, they're going to come in low, and they're going to get trounced.
And the Saints are at home.
Saints are at home where they're like supermen.
What was that about double digits you were talking to me about before?
10.5, I know. But I'm going to do it this time. I'm going with the Saints.
All right.
Saints. Because they're not the Aints.
They're not the Aints.
Except when they're on the road.
All right, Mr. Phillips, the pride of Piscataway.
I'm going to go to Tennessee.
You are?
I'm going to go to Tennessee. I think we need a show there, so I'm going to go to Tennessee.
All right.
I'm going to go to Tennessee because the Cleveland Browns are going there. And the Browns have played some really good football, even though the record doesn't show it early on. They've been in close games.
They have.
Tight games. Hoyer's been looking a lot better than most people expected. They got a solid defense, a lot better than most people expect. And they're getting 2 points.
2 points.
I'm taking the Brownies to beat Tennessee with 2 points, my friends.
+2.
Wow, I can't believe it.
Neither do I.
All right.
But I did it anyway.
All right. Okay. All right. Is this my second?
Yeah. Your second.
Jeez, I'm sorry. My second pick. All right. I'm going to Mile High Stadium. I'm picking the tough games. You guys can take those Pats.
I had that as another pick, depending upon which one.
I'm going to Mile High. Mile High, and the Cardinals turn back into the Cardinals. I love Denver in this game, and they destroy the Cardinals and show everybody time's up. Sorry, Mr. Stanton. I'm taking Denver, Peyton Manning at home. Can't beat them. Can't touch us. I'm sounding like MC Hammer. Go ahead.
Well,
Don't start dancing like him. I don't want to see you in parachute pants.
Oh,
next.
yeah.
I had the Cardinals as my pick, but he's scaring me. He is.
Go head to head. Come on.
scaring
You
me.
got no
Go
guts.
ahead.
Go for it. Go head to head with them. Come on. I'm going head to head with Bernie on a game.
Well, Bernie is, he's the real deal. I'll tell you what. I'm going to cross out the Cardinals because nobody, and I mean nobody, is going to. Everybody could go against me on the next one. I'm going with my New York Jets. 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 +7 in San Diego. They have beaten San Diego many times out in San Diego, knocking them out of the playoffs 2 years in a row.
Once again, you're living in the past.
Taking the New York Jets.
There may be some jets that fly over Qualcomm. But there's not going to be many in the end zone.
Could be some of Michael Vick's passes in the second half.
Only Vicks that'll be going on.
To bring them on
It'll be
to
somebody
victory.
in the stands who's sick putting it on their nose. All right, here we go.
Nice,
Mr. Phillips. Go.
Nice.
Let's see. We got a big battle in the state of Texas this weekend. Houston Texans going down to Arlington against them Cowboys. I can't believe I'm doing this.
No way.
I am going to take the Dallas Cowboys, giving up 3.5 to the Texans.
Wow.
I know.
Going against Bernie again.
Going against Bernie again. I'm going to take Dallas at home. Great win for them this weekend. You know what? I hate to say it, but Romo's looking a heck of a lot better. Dallas's defense is a lot better. That offensive line, DeMarco Murray running like crazy. Give me them Cowboys!
How about them Cowboys? We got a job to do, and we're going to do it, baby!
Can I have 2 bonus picks?
Can I steal another one of yours?
All right, here we go.
All right. That's right.
Are you trying to skip the man here?
No. Why? I know you're picking the Steelers.
No. I am jumping. I'm actually going off course here. I am going to Motown since you brought up if they had what did you say earlier?
If they had Moses and Motown.
Yeah, Moses is in Motown because I'm taking Detroit. The Lions will beat the Buffalo Bills. They're going to cover that 7 very easily. I love it. Give me the Lion.
Lion share.
I got it.
You know another one you were going to take?
Yeah, well, now I don't need 2 bonus picks because he just eliminated one of them.
All right, it is time for the bonus section. Bonus. This is like going to the zoo and having a bird drop something on you. Bonus.
I'm keeping it close to home. I took the Eagles because I love the Eagles. I took the Jets because I love the Jets.
No, you're not doing it.
Yes, I am.
No, please don't.
Yes, I am.
Please
My
don't.
bonus pick is the blue and white. The New York Giants.
He was just doomed to my Giants.
-4.5.
Oh my gosh.
Look, if he can pick Dallas, I can pick the Giants. I'm going with the New York Giants as my bonus pick. Look out, world. Here comes Eli. Or as Bernie said, Eli's coming. That's 3 Dog Night, 1967. All right.
You're dating yourself.
Wow.
I was 3.
3 dogs at night, whatever that means. But let's go to.
You wouldn't know what 3 Dog Night is.
Oh, yes. In a few minutes, we will have our baseball segment.
Yes, we know.
We got R.S. Cashman waiting for us. All right. Mr. Phillips.
My bonus pick.
Yes.
I am going to go head to head with Mr. Cash.
Yes.
I'm going to travel out to San Diego.
San Diego.
I'm going to take the Chargers, giving up them 7 points to the Jets. Because I don't think they can find their way out of a brown paper bag right now. So I will take Phillip Rivers, Antonio Gates, and anybody else the Chargers want to put out there. They can bring back Dan Fouts if they want to. I'm picking the Chargers.
The Chargers. All right.
That's my bonus.
San Diego Superchargers. That's a song. I know Lawrence can find it. San Diego Superchargers. All right.
Why?
Let's hope he can.
That's a
Why?
great song.
I was going to say why.
That is a great song.
Why would you want to find that one?
Oh, man. All right. Here we go. I am going to my bonus pick. I know you're all just foaming at the mouth waiting for this. All right, you rabid animals. We are going to Carolina and Chicago. Chicago at Carolina. You must think I'm going to take the Panthers, right?
Oh, nay.
You must
nay,
think
nay.
I'm going to take Jay Cutler, right?
No.
Well, you have to do one or the other.
Look, I am taking the Bears. I think the road pleases Cutler. He falls apart at home, but plays great on the road. I'm taking the Bears plus 2.5 to growl their way out of Carolina. They're going to leave some marks.
Got the animals. Bears and Panthers.
Oh my! Wow. I am taking.
That's right.
I am taking.
Unbelievable.
I am taking the Bears as my
Bears.
pick.
The Bears.
That's right.
All right, you can have them.
Well, I'll tell you what, guys. I think these football picks will go down in history as some of the worst picks we've ever made on this show. But it should be fun.
Another game I like, just out of the blue here, is as a double bonus. I love Seattle at Washington. I think Seattle goes in there and destroys them. It's Monday night.
I do too.
I think. Does anyone disagree? Seattle doesn't blow out Washington here?
No. As long as Alfred Morris gets at least one touchdown and 70 yards, that'll help my fantasy team.
We still got about a minute before the break. I think another good game to watch this weekend will be Indiana. The Indianapolis Colts and the Baltimore Ravens, because you got a very, very strong offense with the Colts and a really good defense with the Ravens. Could be a really good game to play if you're a bettor.
Are you going to pick one?
No.
Okay.
It's too tough. That one's too tough.
All right. Let's take a quick timeout. When we come back, it's baseball. We're going to talk baseball. Go Dodgers. Go Orioles. Go Angels. Go somebody, because somebody in this group predicted that World Series. And should I pat myself on the back here?
We're going to have to look that up.
Yeah. Oh, no doubt. He knows. All right. Ricky Cash, Aaron Phillips. My name is Extraordinaire Rich Perez.
I hope we can get out of the studio.
RPX Sports, we'll be right back.
Save us. Oh, my God.
Baseball. Gotta love baseball. Who doesn't love baseball here?
We do.
All right, in this room, who could hit the furthest baseball?
Right
Cash,
now?
Cohen, Phillips. Sorry, I mixed you up with my old partner. Phillips.
I can see how you could do that.
Yes, Phillips, Cash.
At this point in time, I'm lucky to pick up the bat.
Okay, I hear you.
Wiffle ball?
Wiffle ball, I'll go for it.
All right.
You'd screw yourself right in the ground on your first swing.
I know.
All right.
Why don't you introduce our guest?
Ladies and gentlemen, I want to introduce our guest. He is a legend in picking games and talking about games, and we are honored to have him on because it's really his radio debut. But he's been talking to me about baseball for many, many years, and really a good guy. You're going to like him. Mr. R.S. Cashman, how are you?
Hey, guys. How's it going in Las Vegas?
Beautiful, beautiful. How you been?
It's great out here in Los Angeles. I heard that the Dodgers fever is spreading across the nation. Has it reached Las Vegas yet?
Absolutely. I woke up and my blood was blue. I opened the refrigerator. The milk was blue. I think it has hit, my friend.
Oh, there we go. I heard it's an epidemic. It's spreading fast.
The blue milk means that it's gone bad, by the way, just to give you a hint.
RS, we understand the Oakland A's have taken a 7-5 lead into the 8th inning. Or 7-3? 7?
Oh, yes. It's a fun game, 7-3 right now. It's going into the bottom of the 7th. Oakland A's look like they are going to close this one out.
Is Lester still pitching there, RS?
Oh, yeah. Lester's he settled down. He started off a little rough, but he settled down, and he's the World Series pitcher, so he's holding it down.
Wow. Well, that goes to show, he pays off when they need him. And,
yeah.
Oh.
Well, I'm going to fill in my little bracket with Oakland. I hope that doesn't jinx them. So
that's like putting the bats away before the game ends.
You can't do that.
You can't do that.
Yeah, well, I just did.
Oh, my God.
All right, Kansas City, good luck.
Oh, my gosh. Can't do that. All right, RS. So tomorrow night we got a big game, the Giants and the Pirates. Baumgartner, who's been very good on the road this year for the Giants, very solid. What are your thoughts on this game, and which way do you think everyone should go?
Yeah, you're right. Bumgarner is actually very good on the road. Away from AT&T Park, he's 11-4 with an ERA of 2.22. That's obviously some ace-type resume. He is the Giants' ace. He will be going up against the Pirates' hottest pitcher, Edinson Volquez. He is not the ace of the Pirates, but he, again, is the hottest pitcher. He's going into the game with a record of 13-7 with an ERA of 3.04. But one key fact about this game, this is some raw power statistics. Volquez is 0-1 in the postseason with an ERA of 2.1.60. That's compared to Bumgarner, again, the ace of the San Francisco Giants. His resume is stacked in the postseason. He obviously won 2 World Series rings. This is an even year. The Giants seem to do well in even years. So I'm looking for Bumgarner to hold it down in Pittsburgh. It's going to be a raucous crowd. We know what happened last year in Pittsburgh. But I think this year the San Francisco Giants and their experience is going to allow them to squeak by in a very close game at PNC Park.
I like it. What do you think, Cash?
Well,
I'm Cash and Cash Man.
Well, I'll tell you what, RS, your analysis of the game is excellent, but I think there's a factor that is going to play into the Pittsburgh side, and that factor is McCutchen. I think McCutchen right now, all around, is probably in the top 5 players in the game today. And I think he's going to make the difference in a home game, late in the game. I don't think either Bumgarner nor Volquez will get past the 6th inning. And if it does go to the bullpen, I like Pittsburgh's chances, and I think Andrew McCutchen is the difference. I take Pittsburgh.
Wow. All right, those are strong words there. Man, I'm feeling very offended here.
Yeah, that's actually a good point. McCutchen is the biggest bat in the Pittsburgh lineup. That is one batter that Bumgarner does have to be afraid of. But again, going back to Volquez, I don't want to emphasize him too much, but he has not proven too much in the postseason, and specifically against the San Francisco Giants. He is winless in 9 starts against the Giants since beating them twice in 2008. And again, I believe in a little bit of magic. And again, this is going to be an even number year for the Giants. Every even year in the last 2 years, they have won the World Series. So I'm banking on the Bumgarner victory.
All right, Mr. Phillips, you got any words on that?
Sounds like a California homer pick to me, if you ask me very much.
No. And the good thing about R.S. Cashman, of course, he's an L.A. native.
Right.
And, it's hard to get an L.A. native to pull for those Giants.
Yeah, but you know what, though? The Giants have had their pockets of success this year, and they've struggled this year. Losing Angel Pagan, very big for their offense. I mean, he's out with back surgery. Pittsburgh, their 2nd year in a row of getting into the playoffs at home. As much as this pains me to do this, I actually have to agree with Mr. Cash. I actually look for Pittsburgh. Listen, 0-9, not good, but at some point he's going to win again against the guy. They're playing at home in Pittsburgh. I love McCutchen. I love Russell Martin behind the plate. I just love what's being done in Pittsburgh for their 2nd year. They got a taste of it last year. I don't know. I just kind of look for Pittsburgh to surprise the Giants in the playing game.
Wow. And I think, I agree with RS here. I think that the Giants, just the experience alone in the playoffs is going to push them through. That's good. I can respect both of your picks there. I can respect that. But I think Bumgarner's just too tough. I like the Giants, and I won't be surprised if this guy pitches 8 innings and gets to the last inning and they win the game 4-2. It's tough to beat Bumgarner, but I can see your points and I respect that. RS, I can respect that. You can respect that, right?
Oh, yes. This is what the playoffs is about. The pitchers are going to decide the game. I, again, have to go with the most experienced pitcher. Bumgarner it is.
Well, guys, we don't know whether or not we don't know the opponents yet for the Angels or the Washington Nationals, but we do know that Detroit will be at Baltimore for the next set of games, and we do know that the Dodgers will be hosting the Cardinals. So why don't we make our picks for those and give us some good reasons, RS, why you're picking, the Dodgers and the Angels. No, I mean Dodgers and probably, I'm going to guess you're going to go with Baltimore. So let's hear what you got, bud.
Okay, all right. Well, let's start with Detroit versus Baltimore. This is going to be the first postseason meeting between these two franchises. So that's going to be big. It's going to be, obviously, we all know the proven veteran Max Scherzer is going to be on the mound versus the young arm and Chris Tillman. Chris Tillman has impressed this season. He's 13-6 with a 3.34 ERA. But again, he's going up against a giant, Max Scherzer, 18-5 with a record of with an ERA, of 3.15. And Scherzer does have the postseason experience. He has not lost an ALDS game in his career. He is 3-0 in the ALDS. In the postseason, he is 4-2 with an ERA of 3.42. On the other hand, again, Tillman is a young pitcher. I do not believe, according to my raw power statistics, I don't believe has postseason experience. Again, it's very hard to go against these young arms, especially what we're seeing tonight with Shields going down and Lester, again, the experienced pitcher, holding it down. I think Scherzer is going to shut down the Baltimore lineup. We do know that Baltimore is a power-hitting team, but again, two raw power statistics, or raw power facts, I should say. Chris Davis and Manny Machado are not going to be in the lineup. We all know Chris Davis is suspended for his use of performance-enhancing drugs, and Machado is out with the injury. So I think the Tigers are stacked up. They're stacked up 1 through 9. I think Scherzer shuts down the lineup. They take game 1.
Oh my. And it's hard to dispute those facts. It really is. I'm going to go on a hunch here. I'm going to say Baltimore just surprises the heck out of everyone and wins game 1 at home. Mr. Cash, what do you think?
This is tough. I mean, Detroit is so built for the playoffs, it's ridiculous. I mean, they're going to go with Scherzer, then they're going to go with Price, and then they're going to take Verlander, who's finally come into his own. They're going to play him at home. Baltimore has had a fabulous season, no question about it. But RS makes great points about their power, their main power is really out of the lineup. I don't see how you can go against Detroit in this matchup. I think the bubble bursts, and I'll take the Detroit Lions. Frankly, I think they're going to sweep them.
I love those Lions. The Tigers.
I mean Tigers.
I got you, brother.
How about Lions and Tigers and Bears? Oh, my.
All right, RC, I'm going to give you the Tigers. And Mr. Phillips?
Once again, I agree with Cash. I mean, Baltimore's missing some key components here offensively. We know that traditionally in playoffs, run scoring becomes a premium. You're not going to see many blowouts. And Baltimore's, it was okay to get through 162 games, win a very weak American League East this year by double digits, I think 12, 13 games. I just like the pitching of Detroit. It's proven, it's stacked, and you got Miguel Cabrera. You got a couple of some powerful hitters. Martinez.
Oh, my goodness.
I like Detroit to win the series.
Me too.
All right. Let's go to St. Louis and L.A., Mr. R.S. Cashman. Talk to me.
All right. We know this is probably going to be the biggest playoff game of game 1 of these playoffs. This is a heavyweight match. We have 2 Cy Young pitchers on the mound. These are big-time aces, Adam Wainwright versus Clayton Kershaw. Again, it seems like the edge is going to be towards the Cardinals. They have a history of owning the Dodgers. We all know what happened last year. The Dodgers were eliminated in St. Louis. Kershaw was on the mound, and we know the outcome. St. Louis won 9-0. So I think St. Louis has an edge in that sense, but I do feel a sense of revenge in the air here in Los Angeles. Kershaw again became the MLB's ERA leader for the 4th consecutive year. We know that there are talks of him becoming the MVP. I think it's a lock that he is going to be the Cy Young. One key raw power statistic is that Wainwright is solid on the road. He has an ERA of 1.72 this year with a record of 11-6. However, at Dodger Stadium, he is 1-3 with an ERA of 4.30. Kershaw, we know, does not give up any runs. Two other key facts is that the Cardinals, Wainwright, and the Dodgers, Kershaw, have never lost an NLDS game. So something has to give. I think Dodgers are seeking revenge. Kershaw does not give up runs. Again, Wainwright has that 4.30 ERA at Dodger Stadium. I think the Dodgers win, but this one is going to be very, very close. Another fact is that the so-called Dodger killers of the past, Albert Pujols and Carlos Beltran, we know are no longer with the Cardinals. Matt Holliday, who has seriously hurt the Dodgers in the past, will be playing with a sore finger. He hurt his throwing hand in Arizona on the 161st game of the season, so he's not going to be fully healthy. In regards to the Dodgers, they're going to have Hanley Ramirez in the lineup. Last year against the Cardinals in the playoffs, Ramirez was out with a broken rib. So the Dodgers, I think, they're looking for revenge. Kershaw does not lose, especially at Dodger Stadium. Ramirez is going to bring the fire. I think Dodgers win Game 1 and the series.
Beautiful. I like it.
Very, very nice. Very well said, RS. I'm going to go in agreement with you, but for some different reasons. If you look at the individual players on each team, and if you match them up position by position, the Dodgers overwhelm the Cardinals. This is not the Cardinal team of the last 4 or 5 years. This is the Cardinal team that squeaked by in the division that they were in, mainly because Milwaukee totally collapsed over the last 6 weeks of the season, and Pittsburgh, although played well, but they were not consistent enough to catch them in the end. Maybe if they played 10 more games, they would have, because they were certainly coming on strong. I don't think this is a strong team at all, and after Wainwright, their pitching is very, very suspect. So I believe that this is a Dodgers series to be had probably in either 3 or 4 games. I love L.A., and I don't like the Dodgers, but I love L.A. All right.
Wow. All right.
I mean, how can you bet against the Dodger pitching staff? Just you're going with Kershaw, Greinke. I mean, that's in a series like this, you really only need 2 solid starters. Kemp's come alive towards the back half of this season. Puig, hopefully you know what you're going to get out of him. I like the Dodgers in this series as well. I think they'll get their revenge factor. And, of course, with Don Mattingly, my former Yankee captain, managing the team, I have a little soft spot for the Dodgers there, too. So
beautiful.
No.
All right. Well, RS, I think that was a good beginning. Next week we'll have the teams for these playoffs, and of course the playoffs will be up and running. The Washington Nationals waiting for the winner of the game tomorrow, and of course the Angels looking like they're probably going to play the A's. So we will see how it goes. RS, I want to thank you for being on the show.
Great. Thanks for having me, guys. Go Dodgers.
All right. There you go. All right, guys. We might as well just keep going here. Let's talk a little bit about your UNLV football team, my friend.
Oh my goodness! I've been fighting you for 7 months on this.
Yes,
I'm very disappointed. I really am. I think that the offense is good. I don't understand why the defense is so porous. Guys they're running up yardage. They're passing against them. It might be the weakest defense that Coach Houck has had in the 5 years he's been here, or 4 years, or whatever the case may be. Mm-hmm. I'm extremely disappointed. I do think they have a real good shot at beating San Diego State. San Jose State this weekend, and I think if they do, that'll put them back to 2-4, and I think they'll have a shot to maybe get that record back up, because the easier part of their schedule is coming up. But I will tell you this, and as much as it pains me to say this, if they have a 2 or a 3 win season, you're going to be right. They're going to have to get rid of the coach, and it's a shame. Yeah, because that.
I honestly,
can you get us some? I'd like to go to one of these home games so I can, up close and personal, watch the demise of this coach.
Yeah,
because I love their quarterback. He's a good player, and they've got maybe maybe a first-round pick in their wide receiver.
I think that there are already some waves going on at the athletic director's office at UNLV. It has to be. Look, the reality is this coach has done nothing for this team. I don't care about this bowl last year. It didn't mean anything. They played terrible teams. I know that you've backed them. Now, last year he did have some flashes. I'll give him that. But overall, we're talking 2010 to 2014. I've seen 2 or 3 flashes. I need to see more than that. And
what got Jerry Sandusky in trouble?
I mean, this is just not happening. I don't know why nobody else has pulled the trigger here, but the whole city as a whole, because I travel the city, I talk to a lot of people. I have not found one supporter of this guy. It just amazes me how they have not pulled the trigger. They're going to wait till the season's over.
Have you listened to his show? I have a couple of times.
What does he say?
He's really, saying his boys are playing hard. They're trying hard.
Well, what else would you expect him to say?
They're doing that. But I wish he would take more responsibility to say, I need to do something better, because he's not. He's just saying that the other teams that they're playing are better than his, which is quite apparent.
Yeah, no doubt about it. So
we're going to start probably in a month or so talking about who might be available, and will UNLV be willing to pay to get a high-powered coach? And we already know the answer to that.
Well, I think they have to come up with something. Boosters got to help. Something's got to give.
I agree.
No
they need somebody for a draw, if nothing else, as a coach. But I think their best potential coach is already here in Vegas. Put Fassel out there. Jim Fassel.
Oh, absolutely.
Former coach. He was a coordinator with the Ravens. He was with Minnesota. He won coach of the Giants.
Won a couple of titles here with the whatever team that was.
The USFL.
Right.
So, you got a potential NFL grade caliber guy right here in Vegas that could step right in.
That's a really great comment from you, Aaron, because I believe that UNLV will have to do something. It's October 1st. And they're already talking about running Rebel basketball.
Right.
So that's really, that speaks volumes of where this town is at. There's a front page thing that we landed a top recruit, not for 2015, but for 2016. And we're talking about the basketball team.
Right.
So I'm telling you, they knocked them out of the front of the page's sports section here in town. It's going to be a long, long year.
All right. Any last thoughts, Mr. Cash?
Just this, this was great. My compliments to you, Mr. Perez, for bringing R.S. Cashman. Wonderful analysis of baseball. I was very impressed.
Loved his raw power statistics.
Yeah, yes. he was right on it, and we agreed with most of his picks. But I liked I think what I really enjoyed was the reasoning behind his picks.
Absolutely. He's a tremendous asset, and I'm looking forward to having him here. And he'll get into football with us as well later down the road here. All right, guys, I want to thank everybody for listening from Seattle, Washington to Miami, Florida, overseas to the troops in Afghanistan, Iraq who listen. I want to thank you all for your support, and I want to thank everybody for just being there for us. And really, it's 2 hours. I know it's long, and it's a great sports talk, but we are on our way. Ladies and gentlemen, have a great evening. Have a great weekend. My name is Rich Perez. For Ricky Phillips and Aaron Phillips and Ricky Cash. Goodbye.